Hi, Casey. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How about yourself?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, let me just, so this is Maddie, right?
This is.
Okay.
Always says Beatrice, but
Yeah. So, audio sounds okay, if you can hear me okay.
yep, you sound good.
Okay. And I just popped up my PowerPoint. Does that show up on yours?
Nope. Did you share your screen?
Probably not.
Do you have any audio in your presentation?
No, I do not.
Okay.
How about now?
Yep, I can see it.
Well, there we go. That didn't need 20 minutes.
Do
I
you,
left my
let's
hotel
see,
room at
so
6:30 this
this is
morning.
just PowerPoint. Okay.
I left my hotel bright and early this morning.
Is this the view show?
Pardon me?
Is this like, or are you just gonna click slides or does it just play? Okay.
No, I'll click it.
Okay. Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. For some reason, it doesn't look like I'm getting a full screen, but I think I am. It's
Yep,
not,
you are.
yeah, it's not presenter mode, so.
Cool.
What's that?
I said, cool. Looks good.
Okay. Well,
All right.
at this point, I'll just wait for people to hop on, and
Sounds good.
when it's done, I'll just sign out and chalk it up as another lunchbox hour and hope, you know, all 8 of them show.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know. Throwing a door prize out there, I thought might be helpful, but
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
what's the weather like in Minneapolis?
I'm actually up north right now. I'm
Oh,
in
yeah?
Detroit Lakes, so it's pouring rain and it's cold.
Well, that could help me. Actually,
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd ask that question.
Yeah.
So, well, I appreciate you logging on early just to make sure that I had a comfort level, and
Yeah, of course.
I'm good to go. So you have
Sounds
a good
good.
rest of the day.
All right, you too.
Okay,
See ya.
Bye-bye. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Casey, how are you?
Good. Didn't realize somebody was there.
I
I
snuck
was,
in like a ninja.
I was just on the side looking at my phone. Oh, even so, that's three. That's three of the eight that are showing up.
Gotcha.
Oh, great. No pressure on me.
Well, I had, what did I have? I tell you yesterday, I had 13 sign up for my Hans Grohe one, and then we got 7.
Was that today or
It
yesterday?
was this morning. It was 11 o'clock.
They had 13. Well, I was told I had 8 as of early this morning.
No, I'm talking about my Hans Grohe one that I had with Chris.
Right, but you had 13 and 7. So if
Yeah.
I have 8, I could have 3. Based on the same ratio.
Well, and it's funny because we finished about 11:35 or so, and then I get an email saying Minnesota Keith is trying to join your Zoom. It's like, well, sorry, dude, it's over. But we recorded it and I sent it to Jack.
How did it go?
Good, good. I think just between you, me, and the fence post, Chris had a lot of coffee because man, was he talking fast. He was spun a little bit. His
Was
phone
he?
dinging, and it's just he's like, oh god. And I worked for Ferguson. I mean, I worked for Hans Grohe. I think he was a little rattled,
Interesting.
but his phone was pinging like crazy.
Yeah, he's with all his new responsibilities, it's a different game with him.
Yeah,
He's going to burn out because he doesn't do well under that stress.
correct.
Well, I got 4 joint calls in this morning. It was a marathon, but we did it.
And you got back to the hotel obviously in time.
Yeah, and got one more this afternoon, and then I'm meeting Joe Nagan. At
Oh,
3:30.
cool.
Yeah, he's the inventor of the soffit vent.
Huh.
And I had some questions come up, so it's working out perfect.
That's awesome.
And the $10 for 10 minutes promotion works.
Good.
They all appreciated it. Like I was giving them $100 gift cards.
And did you get more than 10 minutes typically?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. Just like
probably 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Some were a half hour, some were 40.
Sure.
And it was more me looking at my phone going, come on, we got to keep it going here. I've got a tight schedule.
How's the weather for you?
Sunny and 70.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's sunny at the moment, but boy, we got rain yesterday and rain in the night. Probably a good ½ inch. And
yeah, I knew it was raining hard.
Rain through Friday.
Yeah.
So Root River picked up some. They picked up the 9th floor, and I got a call into Brett, who's doing the logistics, and it sounds like what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get everything that's labeled and boxed at Kilmer picked up by Root River to go down to Faribault for assembly with all the doors and everything. So I guess where I'm going with this is it sounds like we're going to get rid of a lot of the hardware that's here. That's the plan.
They're going to put the hardware on the doors before they hang the doors?
Nope. They're gonna come and get everything that's boxed and labeled so that everything can go down by unit. Which is something we talked about. But then when they told me they only wanted to pick up the 9th floor, that threw me for a little bit of a loop. So
okay. Well, you're on top of that one, so.
Yep.
Jay's got to have another surgery.
Yeah. So we're hoping for the better news of the two. So it's the knee that has the cadaver parts in it.
Yeah.
So the scope is scheduled for the 14th. And if they can repair while they're in with the scope, they're going to do it because they can't really see a lot off the MRI. And if it's bad and they can see it from the scope, then they'll schedule another one. But here's hoping it's just a quick clean out or whatever the case may be. And then,
yeah.
But he was home over spring break, which would have been last week, and no crutches. Seem to have pretty good mobility and everything. So hoping it's just a little something floating around in there and they can clean it out.
Okay, good. I hope so.
Yeah, and get it done.
Yep.
So and then
Yeah,
he's
my sister's flying in at 11:45, the 14th, and I got to run out and pick her up. And I've got a contractor coming to my house the morning of the 14th.
okay.
So I'll be remote, but I'll be on.
Yeah, I will be because I asked Cayenne last night how I don't know who can get into TCO, if it's just one of us or both of us, or
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of that yet. He's got a COVID test Monday and then surgery slated for Wednesday. So if nothing else, I can go and at least help him get in the car. I mean, I'll be accessible as well.
Right. Okay.
So
So Jonathan, you're Jim Bringley, by the way, Jonathan. But you want to be a contractor? So it doesn't look like we're all from Stabeck. Just a suggestion.
Here we go. Let's see.
are you Joe contractor? So Jonathan, that Carlson Kuehl thing you helped me out with a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
I just got the order.
Oh, nice. From that late, or I forgot her name. Carol? Was it Carol?
Morgan Bilkey.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to send that order. It's like $4,600.
All right. I just changed my name to Ryan Companies. There we go.
Yeah, or who else could you be?
Erotus.
Yeah. Kramer and Sons.
Yeah.
Steiner Koppelman. Charles Cudd.
Yeah, this PowerPoint is an unusual one. It's not a traditional Panasonic one or a traditional one that I do.
Case, just before I forget, I couldn't find the Whisper Warm video in Ignite.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. And I don't know, and I'm not pointing the finger, but was Remington looking for him? And I'm just wondering if it got moved or deleted out of that folder on accident. If Remington was poking in there?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to remember if I did one. Or if it was under specialty fans.
Oh, well, there was a specialty fans, but I guess I didn't watch it to see what we talked about.
It might be under that.
Maybe. I know we did one on it. I know that fan was talked about.
Yeah, I think I did Whisper Warm with the Whisper Recessed.
Okay.
So I think he has it. I'll look and I'll chime in on that email.
Okay. All right.
You have more calls this afternoon though, don't you?
Yeah. I've got one at 1:30, and then I've got downtime. I was trying to get up with Badger Metals, but they're not seeing people. So I'm gonna run over to Central Corp, and then run up to Kakana for Joe Nagan. But yeah, some people are still, it's amazing. I hate to say it, I haven't worn a mask since I crossed the Wisconsin border.
Yeah, do you think you're getting a little different reception because you're vaccinated or not?
They don't ask.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, I stopped at a Quick Trip in Hudson and I noticed people weren't wearing a mask. I was. And then I stopped another time and I had a mask in my pocket. I forgot to put it on and I didn't feel out of place.
No kidding.
I mean, none of the workers are wearing masks in the stores.
Well, I haven't seen that yet. I was going to say, like, when I stop for gas and stuff, people, walking in without a mask, but I've never not seen the workers behind the counter.
I think by the time I got to, before Wausau, I stopped.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't seen anybody masked up at a store in 24 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Not that I'm going in every hour, but
Yeah.
Morning, I stopped to get a cup of coffee, not a soul,
Huh.
including the person behind the counter.
Hmm.
And yesterday afternoon, the same thing. What time do we have?
11:58.
Yep.
Apple time, 11:58.
So the $100 question, or should I say the $300 question? Oh, I see a Ruth.
Hey, Ruth.
It's really interesting to hear about the supply chain problems.
Firsthand, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Breakers are a huge problem right now in the electrical industry.
Huh.
Boxes continue to be a huge problem.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who I was talking to about the boxes were just a big, huge. It was probably when I was with Mark. Everybody's squawking about the boxes.
I've got 12 o'clock, but let's wait another minute or two. That's okay with Ruth and Jim and Jonathan, it looks like.
Yeah, that's good for me.
I'm
Welcome,
good,
Ruth.
Brady. Hi. How many people were signed up today?
There were going to be 8,
Oh,
but so far there's 3 plus myself. And Ruth, who are you with?
All-Rounder Remodeling.
Say that name one more time.
All-Rounder Remodeling.
Okay. What part of town?
We're in the Twin Cities, St. Paul suburbs in River Heights.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Yeah, good to
Do
see you guys.
do you use Panasonic ventilation in your projects?
Not right now.
And can I ask that question after I'm done?
Yes. No, I'm really stoked about it because right now, I guess you guys are talking about suppliers and stuff, and I think we use Broen.
Yeah.
Broen.
Rome.
But no, we're always open to bigger and better things. And
Yeah. Yeah, we're all about ventilation and moving air effectively and efficiently and the most amount of air. So this PowerPoint I'm going to be doing, this will be the first time I've done this one. And it's a little different, but it makes you think a bigger picture, which is, I think we all have to have a bigger picture outlook on things, particularly in business.
yeah, I totally go along with that. Moving air is a good thing, especially, if you've got a stale space or something that's more closed off.
Yeah.
Basement bathrooms that don't have windows and stuff in it, you want to get that out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I'm staying in a hotel. I'm over in Appleton, Wisconsin right now, and the hotel, the windows don't open. The hallway feels like it's like last month's air, and it's a brand new hotel.
Ew.
And it just, I can't wait to get outside just to get a breath of fresh air when I'm in here for a while. It's too bad. It's a new hotel on top of it. So, well, it's 2 minutes after. I appreciate you joining, Ruth, and I'm just going to start going through it. And, hopefully some people will jump on. Anyway, my name's Casey Stabeck. I'll be presenting the PowerPoint today. And we're Stabeck Sales and Marketing, and we represented Panasonic for over 30 years. So we've been around for a while doing this. And like I said, this is a combination of PowerPoints, and it really does give you a bigger picture outlook on things. And it talks about, you know, advantages and disadvantages of owning your own business. Are you an owner or are you an employee or?
Owner.
Pardon me?
I'm an owner.
Okay, so you can relate to this slide where it talks that 61% of the small business owners work 41 to 70 hours a week, and 4% work over 70 hours a week, right?
Right.
And any, Jim, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say, you know, we're used to working half days, only 12 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm cutting it back to 60 hours a week right now. And it doesn't stop there. You work on weekends. 80% work from home after hours, and you can never step away. You're always on. You always have to pay attention to your business, rain or shine, night or day, weekend or weekday. And of course, this is not. Some of these slides go back a couple of years. I will preface it by that, but this is one slide that probably is totally wrong. Clients aren't becoming more demanding. They're getting easier to work with, right, Ruth?
Yeah, sometimes.
I was saying that sarcastically, but yeah, in my world, everybody is getting more demanding because of supply chain issues. But everybody wants answers before you finish the sentence, or before they finish the sentence. So it's instant gratification. They are getting more demanding, in my opinion, and your margins are getting a little thinner because of the pricing volatility that's going on right now. So you're dealing with more demanding buyers. Your margins potentially are going down or hard to keep, and you're working 70 hours a week. And why are we doing this? And then how do you get leads? It's getting harder and harder to get leads. 20% of the home improvement contractors report generating new leads are their biggest challenge. This is an older slide. It might not be that case right now, but it is a challenge to get good qualified leads for your business. Let's investigate the 3 profit killers that might.
Oh, did Casey freeze?
Looks like it.
You might be playing with fire on this one. So did I freeze up?
A little bit. Yep.
No.
You're good now.
Okay. So in the HVAC world, callbacks are extremely expensive. In the remodeling world, callbacks can be very expensive as well. So that's one of the big unknowns in the remodeling industry is, is the product that going in, is it going to create callbacks? So obviously you want to avoid callbacks. The other big profit killer in the world of construction is liability or the litigation. 15.3 million people are sue happy in a year. And we all know that, and it's getting to be a bigger and bigger problem. So the liability aspect of building and remodeling is a big concern. There was a LunchBox hour last week about that. So that's one of the 3. And then the lawsuits can result in big dollars based on what's involved. In my world, it's mold and mildew. If you've got litigation on mold and mildew, it's going to be expensive to get out of that situation. So the third profit killer in construction is social media. I guess best way to word it. People are very when they get angry over a project, they voice their opinion electronically in social media. And how do you put a value on that? How do you stop that? So a very high percentage of people, what do they say? Negative posts. 97% of the people will say the reviews will post their reviews on their buying decisions. If you just look at those numbers, 97, 85, and 94, if you have negative experiences with your customers, they're potentially spreading the word very quickly and very effectively. So you want to avoid that particular situation if you all can. So, are we all shooting ourselves in the foot by, going a cheaper route perhaps, and then having unsatisfied customers? So I'm not going to read these slides just due to time, but you kind of get the drift. There's a lot of potential issues in our industry. And the ventilation fans is one of those risky products that can create callbacks and litigation and bad PR. And what a lot of people don't realize is how many fans, how they actually perform under what we call static pressure. So if you look at a fan down here on the bottom of this curve, if a fan was installed there and you have no ductwork, you're going to get maximum flow. But if you add a short duct length run, now you're changing your airflow, in a minor way, because it's a short duct length run, but it's not what's printed on the box per se. Then if you raise the bar here and add more ductwork, now you're significantly reducing your airflow. And if you keep adding and adding and adding, you get to the point where that fan's not moving any air. And the whole reason for a bath fan, despite popular belief, it's not to remove odors, it's to remove moisture. So you want that moisture out as fast as possible, most efficiently, and have the highest performing product so you don't have those litigation issues. So not all fans are created equal, and that's the point on this slide. To the point where the Berkeley laboratories tested fans, and 48% of the fans failed to meet their minimum airflow. So it is a common problem in the world of ventilation, of fans getting bogged down and not performing. And this is just all general stuff at this point. So here's another case study when builders are building to Energy Star requirements. If they installed 110 CFM fans, 5 of these 110 CFM fans actually hit the 51 CFM mark. So 50% of the fans were less than 50% of the rated airflow. And 50 to 85, they achieved. Then the other 5 fans achieved 50 to 51 to 85%, but none of them achieved the 110 CFM. So you can kind of see what's printed on the box doesn't necessarily mean it's going to produce that when it's installed. And we got lots of testing to prove that. So then you have callbacks when you don't have the proper airflow, because people are complaining about moisture on the mirrors staying on there, moisture on the walls. So I guess what we're trying to do is try to eliminate the callbacks and the nightmares involved with callbacks. On the bigger picture, if you don't have a fan that's performing properly, you run the risk of having mold and mildew issues. They call it the M&Ms, which are not the good ones. M&Ms in my world are mold and mildew. And once you have that problem, you've got big problems on your hand. And so again, we're in the moisture removal business. So think of fans as pumps in your ceiling. You're pumping that moisture out of the envelope of the house, but you want to do it efficiently and quickly. because you don't want the situation where today's shower is next month's mold or next month's moisture issue. So there's two different types of ventilation that I look at. Fast and furious for moisture management. In other words, get that moisture out of the bathroom as fast as possible, or the laundry room, or other rooms that have moisture issues. And then there's another type of ventilation, which is slow and steady, which would be for indoor air quality purposes. So there's two different types of ventilation, moisture management and IAQ. Then you've got, so you got toxic molds that can develop without proper ventilation. You got formaldehyde concerns. And then you also have carbon monoxide that you have to be concerned about. And down below, if you can read it, I can, I'm sitting far enough so you can see my pretty face on the camera. And that's one of the reasons I'm not reading these slides. At least I'm being honest now. I can't see them from where I'm sitting, but you know, just molds in a house, nasal issues, throat irritation, eye irritation, skin irritation. Mold is not good to have. And then you have the VOCs from off-gassing in the house. That's not good to be inhaling and live with. So there's a lot of problems with chemicals remaining in the house. So quick recap, because it's larger print, I can read it. Most ventilation fans are not living up to the CFM claims, which can lead to expensive callbacks, indoor air quality problems, increased warranty work, painful litigation, and then angry, vengeful buyers that will talk bad about their experience on social media. So why in the hell are we in this business, right? But you can make your buyers happier, but you need to know what they want. And we all know consumers are pretty savvy by the time some of us are talking to them, because they're Googling things and doing the research before they even start talking to a contractor. So the house is the biggest purchase that anybody really makes in their lifetime. And again, these slides are a little older. So, you know, here they're saying the average house is $376,000. But notoriously, the house is their most expensive purchase that they'll make in a house. More so than raising a child or buying a new car or a wedding expense. And the consumers know what they want. So one of the things that they want is a comfortable, healthy home to live in. And they're willing to pay the price if they are assured that the house is healthy. And they're willing to pay, and they're willing to pay for it. 83% of the home buyers are willing to pay more for a healthier home, which I find is pretty interesting. It's probably even a little higher now that we've experienced COVID, because this slide probably goes back 2 years ago. And they're spending more time inside. So the vast majority of us, 93% of us, worry about air pollution on a regular basis. And 79% of the homeowners believe indoor air quality has a greater impact on their health than outdoor air. That 79 probably is closer to 85 or 90% now. So it's on the top of mind with everybody, whether they express it or not. And they're assuming when you're building or remodeling a house, you're creating a healthy indoor environment. And if they don't ask it, they just assume it. So you've got to assume that they want it. They're also willing to pay for green, more efficient products. And you can see that 36 to 54-year-old age, 84% are willing to pay extra for green building. Green building being Energy Star or Focus on Energy or LEED, things like that. And the average green labels can add $8,200 to the the resale value of your home. So they look at it as an investment. They also are willing to pay extra for the house based on the quietness of the house and the neighborhoods. So 18.6% of the people are, let me read that. They'll actually pay 18.6% more for a house in a quiet environment, i.e. a neighborhood, maybe backing up to a park or woods or something like that. And the sun and the quietness of the house itself with the products inside. And I'm prefacing that by the next slide. So in the ventilation world, the way you measure noise levels is by SONE, that's S-O-N-E, like the second word in the slide. And the lower the SONE, the quieter the fan. So our fans typically run at 0.3 range, so 0.3 SONEs. And to put in perspective, a new refrigerator is about 1 SONE. So you can kind of put it in relationship to something that's in the kitchen area. And if you're not in the world I'm in, 0.3 SONEs is nothing. I can tell the difference between 0.3 and 0.5, but the ordinary consumer is thrilled to death with 0.5, and we're quieter than that. So we are the quietest fans in the industry. That's how we started, was quiet fans 30 years ago. Energy efficiency, we kind of touched on this, but 90% of the home buyers are looking for Energy Star labels on product. And we were the first Energy Star fan to hit the ventilation industry. And we've won an award from Energy Star every year since then, which has been about close to 18 years probably. So we win most efficient product. And there's different categories that Energy Star relates to in the ventilation world, but that's what we're all about. We're all about Energy Star quietness. So the 4 most important things you need to look at when you're buying ventilation fans is it energy compliant? Is it quiet? Does it actually move the air that will solve your client's needs? And does it help reduce labor costs and ease of installation? So that kind of sums up Panasonic. So the other things that you want to keep in mind is the callback situation again, the litigation aspect, the happier client aspect, and just make sure that you're kind of checking all those boxes to make sure that you don't have those issues. And then we get into, so that's the big view of the ventilation world and what to try to avoid. Because like I said, not all fans are created equal. So this just shows you the amount of awards that we win with Energy Star. I mean, that tells the whole story. And I've represented Panasonic for over 30 years. So this slide says 25, so I'm older than that slide. And dirt. But when we first rolled out Panasonic fans, we were the first quiet fan. And people thought, well, why would you be tooting your horn about a quiet fan? And it was pretty simple. If you have a quiet fan, it gets used more than a noisier fan. So if you have a noisy fan, odds are people turn it on and then turn it off because they don't want to hear it or wake up the rest of the house. So a quiet fan is going to get used more. Then we rolled out Energy Star, and we were the first Energy Star and only Energy Star fan manufacturer for probably 5 years running before somebody else joined the bandwagon. So we have a rich history of quietness, efficiency, and then we have introduced DC motors and built-in controls and automation to the fans to really, that's really turned out to be our niche, if you want to call it that. And so one of the things that we've done is we've made multiple CFM options in one fan. So the industry was always a 50 CFM or an 80 CFM or a 110 CFM. And you have 3 different fans. Now we have one fan that has a rocker switch in it. You can go from 50 to 80 to 110. And we have a second fan that could be 110, 130, 150. So now we have 2 fans that cover 6 CFMs. So that's kind of a nice feature. It makes it easier for contractors to have the right fan on hand because it handles small and it handles large size bathrooms. The other thing that we have is we have what we call smart flow technology built into our DC motors. And what that does is it senses the static pressure on our fans. And I'll explain what static pressure is. Static pressure would be the resistance in the ductwork and in the elbows and in the termination. So the longer the duct length run, the more the elbows, the higher the static pressure. So our motors actually will sense that resistance and that static pressure, and the RPMs in the motor will ramp up to overcome that resistance. So when we say our fans are going to deliver 80 CFM, our fans are going to deliver 80 CFM up to 0.375 static, which is the highest static for any bath fan on the market. All manufacturers test at 0.25, and we go to 375. And what that does, that just helps assure that you're getting the proper airflow out of the fan. Not knowing what the duct length run is going to be and what the challenges are at the install of the fan. So not all fans do that. Did somebody have a question? No? Okay. So very few fans do that. Traditionally, fans will bog down. So if you set it at, if you have an 80 CFM fan, it's going to bog down to, depending on the static pressure or the resistance, it could bog down to 60, 50, 40 CFM. And again, the reason you're buying a fan is to move air, not to make noise. So we have a quiet fan that actually moves the airflow that it's rated at. Kind of a novel idea. And again, the proper airflow eliminates the callbacks. The proper airflow eliminates the litigation from mold and mildew, and the proper airflow also keeps that customer happy so he doesn't give you bad PR on social media. So it's all about keeping everybody happy. So I'll pass that slide, but we have fans for all different applications, and I'm just going to look and see what time-wise. Okay, everybody should be done with their sandwich. Now you're on to the fruit, and you can have your dessert in a few minutes. So this kind of breaks down our product series. So we kind of go from a builder grade to a good, better, best premium concept. And then we have some specialty fans and some accessories. So we basically have fans that hit all budgets, price points, in IAQ, indoor air quality challenges, if you want to call it that. And then we put together this specialties, I shouldn't say specialty, I'm going to flip the page. We call it our selection guide, that it makes it a quick reference, and I can send this to anybody in a PDF, but it basically takes our fan series across the top here in a builder, good, better, best, premium. Then you have your fan features like fan or fan light or 2-speed or motion sensing or humidity sensing, condensation sensing. So if somebody says, I want a fan with condensation, you go fan condensation, and it goes, okay, here's one model number, and that's in our good series. You scroll over, we make it in our best series for new construction. And then if you scroll over, we got it in our premium series. So it's just a selection guide to get you to the right model number. So I can certainly send this to anybody. So I'm going to start with a premium, and when you have challenges, this would be the fan that you can customize. So you basically have 2 fans and 2 fan lights, and you have the 50, 80, and 110 as one fan, and then you have the 110, 130, 150 CFM as the second fan. And this fan has what you call plug and play module customization. So there's little modules, which are these little guys on the right here, that plug into the fan after it's installed, and it changes the dynamics of the fan. So the first module you could plug into that fan is a multi-speed module that makes it a 2-speed fan. And why would you want a 2-speed fan? It addresses the moisture management, the fast and furious, but it also addresses the low and slow, steady IAQ. So the fan, when you're taking a shower, you could have the fan run at 110, and then when the moisture is taken out of the bathroom, you could program it to go down to let's say 30 CFM and run very low and slow, just to make sure that indoor air quality is not jeopardized and moving in that room. And that's a very nice feature for people that are concerned with indoor air quality. The middle module is a condensation module. So if the homeowner's got concerns about moisture management, paranoid about mold and mildew, that condensation module, you plug it into the fan, and if there's humidity in the room, that module is going to turn the fan on and keep the fan on until that moisture is out. So you could take a shower and, let's say, turn on the fan, and then you leave, you turn off the fan. That condensation module will keep the fan on until the humidity is gone. It could be 20 minutes, it could be 24 hours, depending on the situation. And then the third module is a motion sensor. Some people refer to it as an occupancy sensor. So it actually makes the fan switchless. So if they have concerns about their kids never turning on the fan, well, this could be your smarter and 5th grader module. Just plug it in, remove the switch from the wall, and when the kids walk into the bathroom, the fan goes on. And when they leave, the fan will stay on for 20 minutes and then shut off. But you could do motion on, moisture off by adding those 2 condensation. So again, you can have 1, 2, or 3 modules, and you can customize it depending on the occupants that are using that room. So Whisper Green Select gives you lots of flexibility. All of our fan lights utilize LED lighting, and it's a 10-watt dimmable LED chip panel. And all of our fan lights also have a 1-watt LED nightlight feature. So you could switch the main light and have a secondary switch for the LED light, for instance. We also have a series that is dedicated for the remodeling aspect. So that's Whisper Fit Easy. And this is 5 5/8 inch deep, which is arrow points out. So it fits in 2x6 construction or greater. And the key to this one, so we make a fan and we make a fan light, and our ductwork is 4 inch here, but we also include a transition that reduces to 3 inch in case the fan you pull out of the ceiling is 3 inch, then you don't have to replace the ductwork. But the key to this fan is what we call a FlexiFast installation bracket, and it allows you to install the fan from down in the bathroom versus up in the attic down. So it's in the room up versus in the attic down. And by using this bracket, you can do everything from the bathroom. And I was making a contractor call this morning. over in Appleton, and the contractor says, you know, you ever do away with that bracket, and I'm done with remodeling fans with Panasonic, because I can replace a fan in less than an hour using that bracket. So it makes it very, very easy to replace a fan. This PowerPoint doesn't show all our fans, but this is a fan that's pretty nice. We call it Whisper Recessed LED. So when it's installed, it looks just like a recessed light, but it's actually an 80 CFM fan. And the airflow is going around the light fixture through the recessed hole. And it's a LED light. And this one is 11 watts. It's a bulb versus a chip panel. And you're basically hiding the fan. So if you had a row of recessed lights in the bathroom or a laundry room, you can hide the fan by just putting another recessed light in, but it's be a fan too. And you can make that a humidity sensing fan if you used our wall switches, which I'll point out. So we talked about the DC motors in our fans and how they ramp up. One of the reasons DC motors are nice is for the efficiency also. So that bottom number, that $10.23, if you ran the Whisper Green Select fan 24/7, 365, it would cost you about the same as a Starbucks Mocha Grande, about $10.25 a year. So nobody would leave the fan on at 80 or 110 CFM 24/7. But when people say, well, how much is it going to cost me to ventilate use that fan on at 30 CFM, it runs continually. 30 CFM would be closer to about $7 or $8 annually, just to put in perspective. So it's not the energy usage that they should be concerned about. They should be concerned about their indoor air quality, because the houses are being remodeled very, very tight, and you don't want to have indoor air quality issues, which lead to other issues. So the efficiency is nothing. We also make heater models, which are great for remodeling applications. So we make 2 heater models, one heat fan and then another heat fan with light. And we just converted this to DC motor just recently. So we have DC motors, or DC motor in this heater model, and you can select the CFM from 50, 80, or 110, so you still have that flexibility. And it's a 1600 watt heater, which has got a quick 1-minute warm-up feature to it with an LED light. So if somebody's saying, I need heat in that bathroom, and you're struggling trying to figure out how to get heat into that room, this might be a nice option for you. If somebody's got a walk-in tub, it'd be a nice option to have heat, not necessarily over the tub, but right outside the tub, because it wouldn't meet code to have it in a damp location. But that's a thought. Again, a couple questions really help give you the right products.
Message from Joshua Briz.
Pardon me? That question? Oh, okay. So we also are into balanced ventilation. So everything I've talked about is exhaust only, where you're taking the warm, moist air and exhausting it out of the structure of the envelope, out of the envelope of the house. And there's also what you call balanced ventilation, and that's bringing fresh air in and exhausting stale air out with an energy exchange to recoup the heat and the moisture in a house. So we make IntelliBalance 100, which is a whole house ERV, energy recovery ventilator. And this utilizes our Pick-a-Flow CFMs. It also utilizes our DC motors, which all carry a 6-year warranty. And this is really a really nice product for balanced ventilation solutions. We also make balanced ventilation solutions that are space specific. that mount like a bathroom fan. So it mounts in the ceiling, but you're bringing fresh air in, but it's not large enough to do a whole house. This would be equivalent to maybe 900 square feet. So maybe an apartment, maybe assisted living, maybe a condo area, something like that, room specific. So it gives you the features of balanced ventilation, but out of the ceiling versus tying it in with your ductwork. So that's a nice product that we do quite well with because it's got a niche application. So if any of these products you have questions about, I'm available at any time to drill it down deeper for you. We do have the best warranty in the industry. So on our AC motors, which is really our entry-level production builder fan, our AC motors carry a 3-year warranty. Our DC motors carry a 6-year warranty, and then all other components are 1 year. So, and we actually print our defective rate because we manufacture our own motors, and our defective rate is 0.0006%. So that's less than 6 out of 10,000 motors that go bad. We print that in our catalog, which is rather unique. So to recap, have fewer callbacks, lower your litigation rate, have happier clients that that don't complain and go the extra mile so your clients feel like they've gotten the best solution possible. So don't forget that 48% of the fans out there typically fail to hit their CFM requirement. That's probably the biggest takeaway there. And that 95% of the customers that have bad experiences will share them with other consumers and post negative reviews. So the happier they are, the better less headaches you're going to have. And that concludes my PowerPoint in 40 minutes. So that gives you time to ask questions or go on with your day. But my contact information is there. Like I said, I've been doing this for 30 years. So I think I've seen just about everything. However, I was on a job site on Monday in a multifamily project, and I'm still learning. So that's the good point. The day I stop learning is the day I kind of go off into the sunset. But I'm here to help with your ventilation questions, needs, and thoughts. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Casey. Hey, question for you. So obviously, we do a ton of bathrooms, and I use that 8110 selectable retrofit fan on 98%. I mean, we use 100 of them a year. How far is there a recommendation for how far away from a shower that a fan should be or could be and still be effective in ventilating the shower space? Not the bathroom as a whole, but the shower itself.
Okay. Let me give you my thoughts and then tell me if I answered your question.
Sure.
Once upon a time, an electrician thought it was a way to value engineer their installation of fans. So they pulled the fan out of the shower so they wouldn't have to put a GFI on it. The proper location for a fan, they're all rated for damp locations. So the proper location is within the shower, in my opinion. And if I got the world to think that way, I could sail off in the sunset faster.
Well, I agree. I was just looking for a backup to my thought process. That's usually our answer as well. And then when in doubt, we would add a second fan in the bathroom if needed, based on size. We do just a push button digital timer on every fan that we install, and encourage our homeowners to just do when they take a shower, push the 2-hour button and forget about it. The humidity sensor ones I've tried a couple times, but I've been torn on because for those people like myself who I don't use climate control in my house 90% of the year. I leave my windows open. I let Mother Nature do its thing. That humidity sensor is going to run 24/7, obviously, and not accomplish anything. So we do digital timers on everything.
Yep, yep. Every lifestyle and every situation becomes different based on the occupants. You know, a lot of people want to take the occupant out of the equation for certain reasons. You know, they don't turn on the fan, so make it automated. You know, they have concerns of our showers, so let's put humidity in. Everything is, and the justification. I think your point is right on. If you let natural infiltration with windows come in, yeah, if it's humid outside, the fan's going to go on. So avoid that situation if that's the way you live.
Yeah.
Because the fan will go on if there's humidity present.
Yep.
And you know, I've had the problem where people say, well, our house is closed up, but our fan stays on and stays on and stays on. I said, well, is it new construction? Yeah. So the house is still drying out. There's a lot of moisture still in the building. So let the fan do what it's supposed to do. And you know, you can adjust our condensation from 80% to 30%. So there is adjustment.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know that.
Sure.
What
about a steam shower? What would you recommend?
That's one exception, Jerry. I happen to sell steam showers, and I've done that longer than I've sold ventilation. The fan should be outside the steam shower.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we've traditionally done.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to lose the heat from the steam up the flue of the fan because they're not 100% shut off. The damper is not 100%.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah, but you know, if the person doesn't want to put the fan in the shower, I'd put it right outside the shower door, so it works as good as a funnel. It can work there, but if you put the fan 8-10 feet away, all you're doing is pulling that moisture across the room, and then it's just diluting into the room, and not very effective. That's my point.
And that was my thought process too. I just thought I'd ask an opinion. You bet.
The analogy I use, Jerry, is in the kitchen. Where do you put your range hood? Do you put it above the kitchen sink, or do you put it above your range?
Good point. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you want to capture the odors and the grease and everything. You got to put it over the product that's creating that.
Yeah.
But this morning I was calling on an electrical contractor in Green Bay, and he confirmed, if you put the fan in the damp location, you got to GFI it, and GFIs can be $20-$25.
Yep. We do a lot of them in the shower, and that's exactly it. We just do a GFI, and really it's a non-issue.
Yep. So, good questions. Thanks for
ventilation is my pet peeve because obviously it's the number one source of ruining my projects.
Well, you joined late, but that was my point. You kind of caught it as I brought it up. The litigation on ventilation can be costly.
Yep. Yeah, we tell our clients that the fan should run for 20 to 30 minutes minimum after they're done bathing. Let it run as long as you're comfortable. It's just healthier for them. It's healthier for their house. I mean, that's my sales pitch every day.
Yep.
So I have a quick question here, piggybacking off what Jerry was saying about, so if we haven't really done this, so I'm so excited I listened to this, but you put your exhaust fans actually inside the shower, and that's okay.
Yes,
so do you, depending on the size of the room, do you put a second one in there so you can eliminate other odors, or do you use that same fan?
Well, it depends on the situation. If you got 2 points of moisture in a bathroom, I would put 2 fans. So, i.e. a tub shower, that's one issue, and a 6-foot tub is another issue. And I would put a fan above the other tub. Sometimes I've seen as many as 3 fans in a master bath because you might have a toilet room. And there you want to address the odors. And put a fan light in there because they're going to need light in there. And that recessed light is a perfect one for toilet rooms. You know, it's just a recessed light that's 80 CFM. You kill two birds with one stone, ventilation and light, and use that just for odor control. You have a fan for your tub shower, and you got a fan for that 120 gallon tub of water when it's being used.
I think the other thing to remember too is that toilet rooms require one by code if they're closed off.
Yeah.
So if you have a door closing off your toilet, you have to have a separate fan in there. And then, yeah, we do multiple fans in a bathroom, depending on, there is actually a square footage calculation too, as to how many square feet the bathroom is, to how much air movement you need as well.
Yeah. So Ruth, the rule of thumb is if you just got a bathroom with a shower in it, if you just figure out the square footage, it's 1 CFM, 1 square foot per CFM. Just so you have an idea. And when in doubt, oversize the fan. And take my information down. I can send you information. I can talk to you, whatever. It's what I do.
Okay, great. And I put my email in there to get the PowerPoint too, just so my husband can look at it too.
Oh, okay. Okay. Perfect. Any other thoughts?
Good.
Okay, so I'm going to draw for a fan. I'll probably do it on Friday when I'm back at the office, and I'll announce the winner. I have Jerry, Ruth, and is it Ian?
Ian.
Ian? Anybody else on here I should see? I think that was it.
Ruth, Ian, Jim, Jonathan, and myself.
Yep. Those guys don't count.
Oh,
They could count. So your odds are just about 33%. That's pretty good odds. So, well, I do appreciate everybody joining in, and I appreciate the interaction afterwards. And
well, thanks for doing it. And
you bet.
yeah.
Feel free to call me or email me if you have questions.
Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it.
Guys, all have a nice rest of the day.
Sounds good. Everybody have a good day.
Thanks, Casey.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.